missed you so much. We are back in the saddle, and we're going to be breaking down episodes 7 and 8. We got lots to talk about. Lots of great things happened, so stick around.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Woohoo! So excited to be back. So excited to be doing Songland again. All right, hey guys, I'm JJ Jurgens. Julana is out tonight. She is shooting a commercial of her own. Woo! Go girl! Yeah! And I am joined here with the expert on music after shows, Violet Kanian.
I'll accept that. Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be back.
How was your time off?
You know, it was busy. Yeah. It was busy, but I'm glad we're back, and I've missed the show a lot, actually.
Yep, me too. It's such a great show, and I'm so glad to be, again, that it's back. I'm going to want more. We only have a few episodes now that it's back, so that's going to be rough, but they're going to be all great ones. Well, let's start. Since we missed you guys last week, because we got a new schedule here being on Wednesdays, let's start with breaking down episode 7 that had Macklemore as the special guest.
Okay, so I totally took notes on my phone, so that's what's out here. I like that episode. I'm familiar with Macklemore's songs that are on the radio, but not too much like about him as an artist and everything. And I really enjoyed watching it and seeing what he's about and what things really connect with him. That was really interesting for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the same note I say every time is that I'm just always blown away by the talent they get on the show. You know, there's
seriously. And speaking of talent on the show, Ester Dean blows my mind. That woman, I can't. She's like, I can't.
I agree.
She's unbelievable.
When we weren't watching together last week, I was wishing I was with you girls when I was watching this episode, because I thought it was so evident, just like really in this episode, how she just like can come up with things right away. Just amazing how her brain worked.
She dropped the entire verse just like that. Yeah. She was like, I got this. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. She's amazing. We love her. All right. So first we had, I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Iro, who's a guy who actually plays on the street, plays music on the street a lot. And he had a song, Shadow. What were your thoughts on this one?
I really liked the song. I thought when he was singing, I think it was like Your Shadow. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I didn't think to do what they said, what the producer said to do My Shadow, because I was like, okay, it's cool, but it's not connecting. But when they tweaked it just a tiny bit, I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Changes everything, like they do. Yeah, from the get-go, I really liked this one. My notes were that I like the feel of it. I liked the lyrics. I liked his voice. I just was like really into this one. And then we had Matt and Colin, who they were from the group Pop Culture, and they sang the song City Kids.
That was so cool. When they showed the lyrics and it was just like la la la, and the producers didn't know what to expect, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? But when they came out and they were doing the music and like the whole DJ setup, but actually doing the instruments, I was like, this is really, really cool and something different for Songland.
I was excited to see that one when they teased the music sheet too before they went into commercial, because I thought the same. I'm like, interesting that's the only line. Like, but it's got to be fantastic, because there's a reason it's on the show and they're going to do something with it. So I want to see this. So yeah, I definitely, from that one, I love the feel and the energy, but I did really want to hear lyrics with it. You know, not a lot, but I wanted to hear something, so that I was excited to see what they were going to do if they picked him to change it up a little bit. Then we had Chris, whose song was It Could Have Been You.
That one was interesting. He said it's about gun violence, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to feel it, because like, you know, with everything happening, and you know, the whole Vegas situation, but I was like, okay, I'm ready to cry, let's go. And I didn't feel it, and I was just like, oh, okay. So when the producers were giving their feedback, I was like, okay, yeah, I agree, because maybe because he hasn't gone through it, and it's like a, I guess, second story for him. No. Yeah,
this is a very interesting one for you to be commenting on, because I think what their note was correct. Like, so you have to be careful if you're writing about things that you haven't experienced or you don't know about, because the way you say things could affect the people that you know that were.
Absolutely. And then the pop in the song. I was like, whoa, that's a bit much. Whoa. And it's interesting that they said it too, because I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one who was like, whoa. But I think that's just maybe, he had good intentions to do a song about it, and I think it is needed. A lot of people are coming out. Carrie Underwood did what was her song? I'll remember it, but yeah, it's needed, but it wasn't the right way
executed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I was worried because, like they say too, on those ones sometimes it's hard because sometimes they can go too preachy or too like there's different. It's just it's tough to navigate those types of songs. So yeah, I agree with you. For me, that one it wasn't quite working. Yeah. And then we had Casey with Judgments.
I really like that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when it started, I was like, yes. And then it lost me. And I was like, where are we going with this? And I found myself just scrolling my phone, like kind of not paying attention anymore. And that's when I know I'm not into it. But then when they did just the piano, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's always, so we get to the round where now, so Chris got sent home and they work with the other three. Mm-hmm. And so Ryan was with Pop Culture on City Kids, and Casey worked with Esther, and then Shane worked with, I'm sorry, Iro?
Iro.
This is that. Yeah. What did you think about the way they all worked together in this episode?
I thought it was amazing. I was freaking Ester Dean. Mm-hmm. I can't, there isn't enough you could say about her. I mean, all of them they're all geniuses. They truly, truly are. But as a lyricist, she's
so good.
And I'm shocked that I had never heard about her before this show. Never even, I don't know. Yeah. I need a movie about her. I need something. What is happening? I need more. But yeah, sorry. What did you think?
No, I agree with you. I think the same about her. I think she's just fantastic, and it is strange that we hear she's written for so many people, and you just never really saw any inside stories done about her. So yeah, we want more on you, Esther. Every week I love it. I just can't wait to see how they change the songs around and when they come out. But I really loved Iroh's song even when they redid it and stuff. For me, it was just so powerful, and I loved it, and I could see Macklemore playing it, and I just thought it was a great pick. Is that who you would have chosen for the song, or who would have you picked?
I really like that one, but I really like the Pop Culture song. Mm-hmm. I think that one was my favorite, just the way the music was, and then the whole vibe of it. And when Ryan Tedder was like, and then he's like, kind of like a slacker and stuff. I was like, yes, I see it. I see the video with him. I'm like, I could totally see the whole thing. But that violin on Iroh's song, I was like, holy moly. Yeah, the violin totally got me. The whole Irish twist got me. So he totally deserved to win.
Mm-hmm. It was neat to see him too playing together on stage, singing it. I thought that was fantastic.
Insane was that? You come in as a songwriter not expecting, just hoping they pick your song. And then the next thing you know, you're on stage singing in front of how many people? That's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine. Can you imagine him going to bed that night after just, being blown away?
Did that just happen? Yeah, it happened.
Yeah. All right, anything else on episode 7 you want to throw out before we moved on to 8?
No, I think it was a great episode, as usual. And the songs, I wish they could just all pick. Now I feel like we've been spoiled from when I think will.i.am did it. I'm just like, okay, you guys can just pick all of them, right?
I know. You do want to hear it because and they're just all so good that you want to hear those final songs. All right. Well, you got a little something you want to shout out there?
So, you guys know we do this for you guys, and we love doing these shows. I mean, every time there's especially music shows, me and JJ and Julana, we love coming on AfterBuzz and doing the shows for you guys. So please make sure to go to iTunes, leave us reviews, and anytime you leave a review, we'll shout you out on the next episode. Just tweet us, leave us comments, subscribe on YouTube, because that's when you'll know when we have a show. If we change the schedule, you'll find out like that as well. So yeah, just be a part of us, because we like being a part of you.
Ditto. We do. All right, episode 8, Old Dominion.
Yay!
We're always excited being the country girls here, that when there's a country artist on there, it's exciting. Yeah.
And
both
of us are
Jeep drivers. High five for the Jeep. Yeah. Yeah, so this was just
I like
so
that.
we definitely are in on this one, country and Jeep. So this one threw like another wonderful like treat out for these people. Not only would they get their song sung by Old Dominion, they have a chance to be featured in a Jeep commercial. So
that's insane, because now you're just crossing over to all audiences, because if someone doesn't like country, they're not going to really hear Old Dominion's music because, radio or whatever. But if you watch TV, you're going to see that Jeep commercial. That's mind-blowing to me that you get that opportunity to be on such a national stage. Oh my gosh.
And then also, not to mention the payments for both, the payment from Jeep and then the payment for the so it's a good deal.
It's a very good deal.
All right, so let's break down this episode. We start out with the song Young by Caitlin.
I really like this song. I loved the melody coming out, and I love the lyrics. I'm always I gravitate towards a song with for lyrics. I guess that's why we're country music fans, because it's all about the lyrics. And this one totally won me over with that.
Yeah, right away I put pretty song. I really liked it. I think we can all relate to it. Like it stuck in your brain. So I thought this was a good one right out of the gates. Then we had Jacoby, who I know is your favorite.
Oh my gosh, I love this song so much. I loved his original version, and then I know later we're gonna talk about the changes. But I just I was jamming out to it the entire time. I loved him singing it, but I could still see Old Dominion singing it. And I was telling you while we were watching, I could see the actual commercial on the west side, and I don't know. I really, really like this one.
This one, I love this song too. My only note was I personally didn't hear it for Old Dominion when I was listening to it, but I liked the great energy. I loved his voice. I thought it was fun. I thought it was different. I mean, for me, working in advertising too, I'm thinking right away both of these could work for commercials. It depends on what style, what you're trying to sell, what your message is, and what audience you're going for, depending on which song you're gonna pick.
That one would have been very different for the Jeep brand too. But I was hoping they would want to change it up a little.
Yeah, the only thing that got me on that one was the West Side. I know we talked about that because I was like, I don't know, because to me that was a little bit limiting, for people that are in the Midwest or they're different. I mean, I get when Olivier said that people are going out west, which is true for adventure. Lots of times they're head west, but I think West Side for me didn't translate to heading west. It was so I was
could see that.
I would have maybe played with happens later, but it's I would have switched that up a little bit. All right, next song was Take a Ride from Macy.
That one was very interesting. I really liked the song. I was like, oh, this is a really fun song. But I was saying, I thought the lyrics were a little too irresponsible to be the whole Jeep brand. Because I felt like it was, I don't know, it wasn't carefree and fun. It was let's throw everything out. Let's just go. I don't know. I just thought it was a little irresponsible.
I agree. This one was not my favorite of the evening. I just put down nope. That was my note.
Okay.
But
tell us how you really feel.
I know, not in a negative. I didn't mind the song, but just for what they were looking for, both the band and Jeep, I didn't see it for either one of them. And the lyric in there was teenage state of mind.
Right.
I mean, maybe if this had gotten the magic, that something could have changed.
True.
But yeah. Was not my favorite one for what they wanted to accomplish. All right, last up we had Jake Scott, Is This Love?
I didn't write anything down.
You're just listening, enjoying it.
I did like it. It wasn't a favorite, but I enjoyed it. It was nice. I didn't think it stood out, really. I didn't think there was enough specialness about it. But it was nice.
Yeah. And I wanted to like it more because I thought he was so cute and seemed like such a nice guy too. So I wanted to really have a really strong one. The same thing. I thought it was good, but yeah, it wasn't super I want to hear so much more of that now.
Right.
All right. Well, so Macy gets sent home. So then Young. So Caitlin and Jacoby and Jake move on to work. Caitlin is working with Shane. Jacoby works with Ryan, and Jake gets Esther.
That was, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But I really liked how Caitlin's song, they didn't change it too much. It was still had the original vibe to it. The title stayed the same. And I thought, I didn't think it needed too much tweaking. I think hearing it with a male's voice was perfect, because we were like, we don't know. I think it's always like that when a guy sings for a woman, and you're like trying to imagine it. But I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, totally agree. I thought the same thing. Like, love the changes that they did do, and I thought that bringing the guy in was definitely the smart choice.
And I was singing at the end. I was like singing along at the end, so I was like, okay, this is it.
And it totally was in my head as we were coming in here and stayed, which that's what you want. So then Jacoby, they changed his title to Where the Road Ends,
which is fitting. Because West Side. Good point. Good point. I still love this song. I want to just, I'm going to download it, and I'm just going to blast it in my Jeep. I'm going to ride the West Side.
You ride to the West Side, get out, do the whole dancing in the headlights. You can film your own little video commercial and send it to Jeep.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did you think of the changes?
Yeah, I love the changes too. And I think he's adorable. And I think it really, once they made the changes too, I'm like, yeah, I could see it, you know. And like they said, you know, where the road ends, the Jeep begins, you know, kind of starts.
And they did make it a little more country than it was. Just a little sprinkle of country in there. So that was nice.
Yep. Then next up was Jake, and they also changed his name. Now his was called Journey.
They changed the name, they changed the lyrics, they changed the concept, they changed the music.
He's got a lot of changes on his song.
It was good though. I liked what they did with it. Again, Esther is brilliant, and she just took it from top to bottom, and she just like cleaned it up and changed it around and made it. She knows what she's doing, obviously, and she just made it fit the band and fit the commercial, because originally it was like a nice love song, which wasn't gonna fit for either of them. So
yeah, I agree. She definitely knows. Definitely knows what she's doing. But and I also thought kudos to him and all of them for they're also willing to let them change it all, and like go with it, or you know, let a man sing their song or whoever, and it's still so fun.
Can you imagine if he was like, no, this is my song? They'd be like, and we haven't had that happen, which means these people are true creative people, and they're very open to change. So
and you don't even see a glimmer of, you know, sometimes where you can kind of see it. Yeah, I feel like they've all been like into it and been excited by it, you know, which you should be,
right?
You know, like
obviously,
if you're working,
any normal person,
right. But with creative things, it's hard sometimes. They're your babies,
exactly.
And, you know,
exactly. You're emotionally attached to something, and it's hard to change it. Yeah. And I think we've seen in past episodes when the lyrics are so personal, they're just like, we don't want to mess with that. It's your song, so I think everyone is on the same page.
Yes, I think so too. So the winner of this one is Young, Caitlin.
I totally think she deserved it. The song deserves it. I still love Jacoby's song, and I want it on the radio. But for the commercial, and then when they show the commercial with Old Dominion singing, I was like, yes.
Yes. We'll show you just a snippet of that. Short snippet. Yeah.
And is that the girl? Is it her?
We need to look that up. People, let us know. We were trying to figure out if that was Caitlin in this video. They look very similar at the beginning. Yeah,
that is crazy. Yeah. That's amazing if it's her. And oh my God, how amazing is that commercial?
It's great because, you know, like I said, we are both Jeep drivers, and I think one thing I love about driving it is when you get in it, you do feel like the spirit of adventure. You just feel like you want to go somewhere fun, or you want to explore. You know,
I totally agree. It's a culture. I feel like the whole brand is, and they totally capture that.
So we both have Grand Cherokees, and mine was in the shop this week because I'm going on a road trip to Utah next week, so I was getting it serviced. But in the meantime, they gave me a Wrangler, like the extended ones,
girl.
And like they have the commercial. Jeep, I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. I was texting people, like send my pictures of it because I've said I wanted that car before. But I'm like, how practical is it for me right now or whatever. But I felt like I feel like I should be skipping work right now and just like driving somewhere. Yeah, it was
Malibu or something. Right, oh my gosh.
Or somewhere, just driving until way up the coast, until, and staying there and watching the sunset or something. Like it just felt
me with you.
Yeah, it felt like such a waste to have this gorgeous Jeep sitting in the parking lot at work all day long. So yes, there is the Jeep spirit and the Jeep adventure, and I thought, her song really it
captured it.
It did capture it, and I like that even Olivier said, when he drives his Wrangler, that's what makes it. It makes him feel young, and that's what the spirit he tries to capture.
Yeah, and I think it's completely translated into the commercial.
Yep, me too. All right, anything else on this episode tonight?
I think that about covers it. Another great one. I'm excited about next week.
Yeah, so tease them who's next week in case you missed it.
Leona Lewis. I'm ready to hear some crazy ballads and some crazy voices. So
yeah, I agree. We haven't had for a while now a real huge powerful. I think that would be great fun to have.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about wraps us up for tonight.
Where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me at jj.jurgens on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Violet Kanian on Instagram.
All right, comment. We want to hear what you say, and we'll talk all week, and then we'll see you here again next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.